Okay, rookie, welcome to Training A1. Our goal will be to teach you techniques to deal with your opponent. Here we will deal with direct confrontation, tactics, methods of protecting your own ass, and attack. I'll show you everything in the simulation. In room B1 you have some targets on which you can practice your aim. There's exercises of a completely different specialty in room C1. I recommend you take a look there. During the shooting, your accuracy isn't the only important thing. You can practice it with the targets in the next room. To avoid the bullet, you must use cover. You can either hide behind it or take a risk and prepare yourself. This tutorial will teach you how to evaluate the effectiveness of the available shields, how to move between them, how to aim from behind them, and finally, how to shoot the enemies. As you go through the next steps of the training, you'll get short cues. Take your time, read each one, and show me what you got. So, shall we get started? Well done, you did it. Do you want to try again?
Welcome to my humble abode. We don't often get visitors here. You can learn some very useful things here before you head out on the town. You can solve many situations without using a gun, just do a little research and you might come across something like this. But let's start at the beginning. At this stage of the tutorial, we will talk about your equipment. Hold down inventory to access it. A flashlight doesn't need much explaining. Its light comes on and that's it. Using the radio, you can communicate with the base and ask questions. This is important. Sometimes you can verify the information obtained or push the mission forward. You will be informed by a notification about a new message. Usually the messages are general and accessible, but sometimes you may come across a message that is only relevant in a particular location, such as checking on a stolen car. In the notebook, you can see the collected information and a partial summary of the current mission. A notification means a new note has been added. The baton can be useful for stunning the opponent. Thanks to this, we can later handcuff him, interrogate him, and do not risk shooting. To accomplish this, you must sneak up on your opponent, crouch, you move more slowly but silently, however, you risk a bullet to the head. The pistol has a longer range and a larger capacity magazine. It's relatively easy to use. It still requires focus to hit the target. Shotgun. Heavy weapon, maximum 5 shells, good for short range, but if you narrow the choke and are loaded with buckshot, you can blow the guy's head right off his shoulders. Then there's the stun gun. It's a simple thing. You aim, you shoot, and the guy's disarmed. Although I doubt you'll have access to it at first. It can be useful to stun an enemy so we can cuff them, interrogate them, and not risk a shootout. To accomplish this, you must sneak up on your opponent, crouch, you move more slow. Great. In your inventory, you will also find handcuffs. You can use them to handcuff a neutralized opponent that has either surrendered or been stunned into submission. You can then try to talk to him and try to get additional information. Not everyone's talkative, but some people open up with no problem after being cuffed. Did you understand everything? There are situations where an opponent can not only be tackled from behind, but also distracted or diverted. Now I'll give you some suggestions on what you... Sometimes turning a light or alarm off or on can get someone's attention. It can be other things too, but these examples are the most obvious. That's why it's a good idea to look around and surprise your opponent. Did you understand everything? I'm going to ask you now to watch the movement of this dude inside of the room. Then activate the alarm with the switch on the wall and see what happens. Come back. Now we're going to test your skills. Sneak up on our colleague and give him a little tap on the head. Did you understand everything? Show me what... Great. Remember to handcuff your opponent after... Did you understand everything? Well done. It's a good idea to look around. It could be any number of things. A lot of cash, guns, drugs. These are just a few of the possible options. Did you understand everything? Well done. That's it from me. If there's anything else you want to ask, I'll be here.
Time to teach you what negotiation looks like. The rules are simple. During the operation, you collect clues. You can get clues by talking to witnesses and by noticing events, things, and evidence at the scene of the investigation. Circumstantial evidence gives you arguments you can use in negotiations. Remember, however, that not every piece of information has to be true. You have to deduce it yourself from the conversation you've had and the leads you've found. Don't ignore messages from the radio either. They can be useful to you. The more good hits you get, the better your chances of convincing your opponent. Because that's what we want, right? To avoid bloodshed and so on. Did you understand? Now let me tell you some basic facts about the criminal. You will have to decide which information is true and which is false. Choosing a card with false information will piss your opponent off and lower his trust in us. I'm Peter Fox. My girlfriend and I have been in a motorcycle gang called No Weakness for a few years now. I have a thick file. I've been written up several times for aggressive behavior and destruction of property. They say I'm a bully. I have a rather good opinion among my neighbors, so you might think that I'm not making a fuss. This is bullshit. I'm a troublemaker, and that's the truth. I've also been arrested multiple times for drug possession. My best friend knows I don't do drugs, and if I have, it's only for sale. When they caught me, they looked at my hands and did a drug test too. And guess what? Clear. Because I don't do drugs, and that's the truth. The only reason they got their hands on me is because I was in a brawl at the garage. Somebody called, they came, and the brawl was about money, same as always. Unfortunately, I had a dozen pounds of heroin. You already know a little bit, so what do you say? Shall we get started? Good, let's get started. How do you know it's heroin? Did you try it? It depends on what I have a special deal for. You get the joke? Alright. I was stealing, okay? That's all. Kids like this shit. Well-chosen argument. Reliable information. This is how you can convince your interlocutor. No, come on, this is pointless. You don't know what you're talking about. You ready? Good. Right away, you'd ask my neighbor what a good neighbor I am. I only threatened her with a baseball bat once because the idiot kept their dog on a chain. Something or someone. I won't talk about others, but I might know something about some job. You know that supermarket in town? Well-chosen argument. Reliable information. How do you know it? Alright. I see you know what this is about. You talk me through it. You can get on with the real work. Unless you want a really tough negotiation, you're welcome to it when you have some free time.